Hi everyone. Hey, remember about 6 months ago or so when we said Canvas is switching to a new interface, a new RCE? Uh, yeah, I didn't think you did because I wouldn't have either if I was in your shoes. You're busy doing much more important things like teaching your classes. But here's the deal. This rich content editor, this thing you're looking at, the toolbar, the buttons, the drop-down menus, the block where you put your text, your pictures, your videos, all of that. This interface here is actually switching. So this one you're looking at is going away. It's going away next week worldwide. And so what we're going to do is probably on Saturday, flip the switch and we will switch from this interface right here, this rich content editor, we will switch over to the new rich content editor. And hopefully I did that so subtly as I switched between tabs, you looked at that and went, wait, I don't even see a change. Okay, there are some changes here, but we're going to walk you through it. We're not going to do every button. Don't worry. We're not going to take 3 hours. I promise. I don't want to do that either. Okay, but we are going to kind of walk you through what some of the buttons are and some of the drop-down menus and the way that it's organized. Canvas has really tried to accomplish two things as you look at this. Number one, you'll notice that there's just more space here. Since people are doing more and more things online, they're trying to put different things in their Canvas classroom. They're trying to give you more space to just work on your content. Okay, that's the first thing that they've done. The second thing that they've done is really tried to group and organize and put things in very logical places. Since again, we've got a bunch of new people in, they've really tried to say, okay, how can we make this as easy as possible to find the commands that people want? Okay, so this is what you're looking at. This is the new RCE, Rich Content Editor, and let's walk you through it. And the main thing you need to know about the new RCE is we have this drop-down file menu here, and you may look at this and go, yay, I recognize that from Word or from Office or something like that, and you should give a big yay because it's really similar to that. Not the exact same, you'll see that real quickly, but if you're familiar with that, then this is going to work for you. And the nice thing is they've taken basically every command that you need and put it into these 6 drop-down menus. Okay, so I think hopefully we have a pleasant surprise right off the bat. If you click on edit, you'll notice that there's an undo command, which was in the old RCE, but you had to know the keystroke. So in order to copy and paste and do all that stuff, you had to know, Control X, Control V, Control A, all of that sort of stuff. The nice thing is you have all these commands, undo and copy and paste and select all, right here on your drop-down menu to make it much easier. Okay, and by the way, on everything we walk through, the old ways will still work. You can still, Control A to select everything or Control V to paste things. Those still work. This is just a second additional way of doing things. Okay, so that's our edit drop-down menu. Our next drop-down menu is View. There's only 2 buttons on here. One is full screen, and that's pretty much what you're thinking. So if you're just typing a sentence or two, you don't need much space. But if you're really going to town on a page or an assignment and you're putting pictures and videos in and lots of text, as you see, this just gives you a bigger workspace, more space to work to make it easier for you. Not mandatory, feel free to work on the old one, but it does give you more space and you're not having to do as much scrolling left and right or up and down, hopefully, on this. Okay, and then I just go back out of full screen. The other thing you see on view is an HTML editor. You can just toggle back and forth onto that. Okay, our next drop-down menu is the one that most of you are going to deal with because you're looking at this and right away you see, okay, this is where I insert my links, my pictures, my videos, my Word documents, all of that sort of stuff. So it should be pretty self-explanatory for the most part, except for one thing we're going to show you right now. And on almost all of these menus, you go to insert link and you'll see it split into 2 or 3 things. The first is you have one for external links. And again, by the way, for those of you who say, oh, I don't want to do this, I know how to put my YouTube videos in. I just copy and paste the links into it. I hit enter and Canvas embeds it for me. Great. That way will still work, but this is a second way of doing it, okay? So I go right here, I click on my text, and I type in the text I want, like, click here to see a Wikipedia entry on the War of 1812. And then I click in link and I paste my URL and then it will create the hyperlink for me on the page. Okay, so that's the way that that works. Honestly, I don't think most of you are going to use that. You're going to just copy and paste your links directly in there, but it is some additional functionality. What you need to be aware of is if I go to insert link and do that second choice, course links, That's where that course menu comes back in. So remember we talked about how there's more space? That's because that right-hand menu, the files, the hyperlinks to your course, your images, all that has gone away. You can pull it back up as I showed you, but they're trying to give you more space and a lot of people didn't use it. So I now have this menu, I can link to a page in this course. I can link to a specific quiz. I can link to module 3, anything like that. But then when I'm done, I close it and it resizes. So again, you're seeing a much bigger square, a much bigger space to work in. And same thing with some other ones. If I go to Insert Media and I click on Course Media, then you'll see my files there. It's a new class. I don't have any, but they would be there. Okay, same thing with Insert Document. I can upload documents or I have my course and my user documents just like before. Okay, one thing, minor point, but one thing that can throw people if you're anything like me and you don't ever read things and you just look for things. If I go to somewhere like image, upload image, same thing with files, and I'm looking around frantically for my button, please read the instructions right there that I ignore, so I'll blame myself. It says upload image, drag and drop, which you can do, or click to browse your computer. So click anywhere in this box, and that's what pulls up your file commands. Okay? All right, so that should again be pretty self-explanatory. You've got insert links, you've got pictures, you've got media, which is video and audio. You've got your documents, which is your files. For those of you teaching math or chemistry or engineering or anything like that, you've got an equation editor that's built into that drop-down menu as well. You do have embed. For those of you who use HTML, you actually don't have to toggle back and forth anymore. You can just go to Insert Embed, grab the embed code from the website, put it right into here, and click on Submit, and it will embed that item right here in the page. Okay, so that's your insert command. Format is pretty self-explanatory. You look at this and okay, I recognize that. It's bold, it's italics, it's, a different font, it's font sizes, color, all of that. So that should be pretty obvious to you. You have that ability. If you go to your tools drop down, you see word count, and then the key thing for you is going to be that apps. Okay, so if you're looking, for example, your Panopto recordings to embed them on a page, they're right here. If you don't see the app you're looking for, by the way, just click on View All, and here is all the apps that are available to you. You see your Panopto, you also see Office 365, Dropbox, all of those. And then when I click on Panopto, it opens. If this wasn't a blank course, you would see all your recordings right here. You just select one and you can embed it into the course directly from that menu. Okay, so that's the tools, and our last drop-down menu is just a table drop-down menu, so I can click on here and create a table. I can merge cells, I can insert rows, I can delete columns. All of that functionality is built into this one drop-down menu right here. Okay, so basically that's pretty much every command in Canvas. They're all in that drop-down menu. What you'll notice, obviously, because you're looking at that BIU, for example, is you still also have a lot of the buttons here. So if I select my font, and I want to make it bigger, I want to make it bold, I want to make it green, please don't make it green, okay? I can do all of this, and I have all these buttons here. I've got my hyperlink like before, I've got my tools, I've got my bullets, all of that sort of stuff. So you do have the individual buttons. One thing you may notice is, especially if you switch between screens, the buttons there might change. If you're looking for something, click on this More button at the end, and the buttons that you're looking for should be in here. You'll notice in my case, they've taken 4 buttons off of the toolbar so that it fits better, and they've put them down here on this More button. Okay, so if you look there, that's where they are. All right, so that's basically it, except down at the bottom, you've got a few buttons. You've got your accessibility buttons, your keyboard shortcuts, and your accessibility checker in Canvas. You've got your word count, your HTML toggle, and your full screen toggle, and then one thing, if you're not aware of, that is really quite nice, again, back to that space thing, if you're having to scroll up and down, you can actually click on this and resize that text box in there to give you more space to work. And by the way, that is new for those of you who are familiar with it and used to click on this corner right here. That doesn't work anymore. You do need to click on this waffle right here to move it up and down. Okay? So it gets us through all the commands. Again, we didn't do every single one. Feel free to explore and click on it, but hopefully that gets you to the point where you don't come in Monday and, break out into a sweat immediately because you can't find something. Hopefully you can find it all pretty easily. If not, as always, please shoot us an email. Please give us a call, and we'll be happy. Send us that angry, all caps email going, "Where the heck is my button?" And we'll be happy to get right back to you and let you know where that stuff is. But hopefully, again, you're going to let this thing go. It's not that bad. It's actually not that big of a change. And in fact, I kind of like it because they put some stuff in real obvious places where I can find it a lot easier now. Okay? Other than that, hope you're having a great Friday. Have a good weekend, and I really hope that this has been a great first week for y'all. Talk to you later.